I'm just like, I just jumped in. I just was like, hey, we're jumping in. I just went live just while you're diddling with your stuff.
And this is not diddling.
You're poking at it. Hey, y'all. Hey. Peace out. What's happening? You can't see him. There we go. There we go. There's this big black thing in the way. Reminds me of that story of BBC. Anyway, let me lower it down a little bit. How do I tilt it up? That's what she said. What?
Yeah, it's already tilted all the way.
I gotta just lean in so your face gets in there. Hey guys, what's up? Peace out. What's up? What's truth got to do with it? Who needs our mind when it's totally poisoned? Hey, Walt, we're gonna do a little conversation, and because I love y'all over here in TikTok, I was like, yeah, I'll just go live on here. Hey, we're just gonna be talking about some stuff. We're setting some stuff up. We're gonna talk about Regenerate, which I'm now a massively huge fan of. And then what are we gonna talk about? Fires in Maui? Oliver Anthony? Yeah, last night we did, my friend Michael Ricks, who is a banjo player here in Nashville, good friend of mine, I introduced him officially to Sean, and they did a reaction video to the Oliver Anthony song, and it was great. What a great interview. It was about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm putting it up on his YouTube for him. It'll be there in a minute, and on his Rumble, so that I could do the whole unedited version of what they talked about, which was so good. Like you, who are so awesome, health expert and all-around cool guy, talking to black man with a banjo, singing. I'm just awesome. And what I think is so ludicrous and actually honestly criminal is how this awesome song is being demonized and saying, oh, it's right wing. Oh, you can't listen to that. That's right wing.
That guy's got a beard.
He's in the country. That means he likes Trump or something.
He got a beard. He must be right wing.
Oh my God, it's so that, and you gotta understand that it's being demonized. Like they do that intentionally so that you don't listen. And they're like, definitely don't listen to the lyrics because you might start thinking too.
That's the last thing that anyone wants anyone to do is start thinking.
And please, I would like to hear your thoughts on the fact that they're going to try to remask us at the end of. We have to be very careful what we're speaking of. Trying to do facial restrictions later on in September is coming again. Just to be prepared.
I don't know. That's the best I can do, folks. I can't get a better angle here.
Are you on? Oh, then better angle than me.
Well, I don't know.
You're hidden.
I need to get this table fixed. That's what I need. But
you're wrong.
August 29th.
What if I put it up on that table for you?
It's not working right. This is in the way. So, all right. So,
buddy. What if I sign up like this? Hi.
There you go.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
All right. So we're talking about. Regenerate.
Well, first regenerate, and because that's the most important thing, I think. And then also it ties in with people being totally poisoned in their minds. You know, it's like I am just baffled by the fact that when people have a hard time seeing and understanding that perpetrators can run things, they are running things, but to be able to wrap your mind around that, and the fact that people even question that anymore is baffling to me. And it's because they belong to this like little mind cult, like where you're like, oh, I can't believe any of that, because that means that I would have to admit that Daddy is terrible. I mean, right? No.
Sorry, what did you say?
Well, I try to wrap my head around how people can not see that they're being manipulated by perpetrators.
Oh.
And it's like, what the hell? Like, why? What is it going to take for you to open your eyes that it's a system of organized perpetrators? It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a system analysis. Okay? That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like an Excel spreadsheet.
You know, most people plan for a lifetime, or maybe their lifetime and their children's lifetime. But there are a group of people that plan for thousands of years. They're, you know, it's a coalition. It's a clan. You know, it's a clan of people that don't think. Some people, some conspiracy theorists, of course, conspiracy theorists being the term that the CIA created to describe people that are discovering truth, to invalidate their truth discovery.
That's funny.
But some conspiracy theorists say that they're not human entities. You know, maybe. I mean, but you know,
that the ones that are the perps that are not human. That's what you're saying.
I believe what it is that there's they believe that there's entities that can control a human being, much like how cordyceps can control a bug. So cordyceps mushrooms, for example, will get inside of a bug's head, and then they remote control that bug, and then use it like as a car.
Are you talking about liberal media? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm talking about cordyceps. But so the idea is that there's entities that when your vibration gets so low from drugging, alcohol, or, you know, doing things that are certainly wrong, like taking innocence from young children and doing things of this nature, and that there's a club that, you know, does that.
Oh yeah.
For
profit and fun and
well,
I don't know if
and also fun. For control. So if they have videos and if they have someone, you know, if they have information on someone that would be detrimental to them, then they have power or control over them.
Are you talking about Scientology?
No.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. No. I'm sorry. I'm just on fire today in a nice way.
But yeah, so
what'd you say?
You know, it's a coordinated thing, and
Bro looks like a cross between a common Western description of Jesus and John Malkovich. That's really funny. I like.
I've never gotten John Malkovich.
I like you a lot.
But,
have you seen the movie Being John Malkovich? By the way, that's really funny.
I haven't. Yeah, so I have a comment over here that says that would be Jeffrey and his crew.
One of them, Jeffrey and his crew, I mean, they were going with older girls. You know, I know about many of Jeffrey and his groups that go at much, much younger children, boys and girls. And yeah, it's go see The Sound of Freedom. I haven't even seen it yet, but I know it. I haven't seen it because I know it so well, and that's what I've been talking about for 20-something years. And for me, the truth and the reality can be so sad and so daunting that I honestly want to go lay in traffic.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the cold facts right there.
And that's one of the things that's happening right now. No one wants to actually see what's going on.
Right.
And Oliver Anthony, for example, it's my understanding he just came out of alcoholism 30 days before he recorded that song. And he was what they call black-pilled, where he figured out what's going on in the world, and then, not surprising, he started drinking too much.
Right.
So, it's a lot to handle. I you know.
Why is it called black-pilled?
It's just a term that some people have coined to describe when, you know, you figure out what's going on. And
then you turn to alcohol, or just you figure out what's going on?
Nothing to do with alcohol.
Okay, so I've definitely been black-pilled a long time ago.
Right. So, but it's quite off-putting. So, you know, if you can avoid that pain, you know, most people avoid pain and seek pleasure, and everyone has a pain-pleasure ratio that they will tolerate, and most people don't want the pain of being black-pilled to figure out, you know, what's going on. They'd rather stay in what they know.
Yeah,
Even though what they know is killing them.
This guy goes, sound of diarrhea. So obviously you're, with all due respect, if you're making fun of the Sound of Freedom, and you're not a very smart person. But he says, ma'am, don't patronize him. Am I patronizing you?
I don't think so.
Some people are. It's like you're talking to yourself, people. We're all avoiding our personal pain. Yes. Hey, Rondi, what's up? You guys talk too much and haven't figured out exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Thank you, Ro, for spending all that time talking about yourself. So you talk too much and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. These children in the movie were exposed to this world. Those children in the movie were exposed to this world.
I don't know. But we were originally going to get on to talk about regenerate.
Yeah, and then we start talking about the black pill, the world realization. Just because we were both noticing this morning, after our great discussion last night with Michael Ricks about Oliver Anthony, that the whole mandates are going to start again in September. So we were just on that discussion.
Oh yeah, I did want to discuss that.
Oh my gosh! So careful into these stepping stones.
Right. So, some of the people
bye.
What?
I'm just getting rid of this person because they're a waste of time.
Oh, don't take it personally.
No, I know. It's just you're messing up my.
Any rate, so a lot of people that are in tune with what. I have to join live.
Oh, that's when people call you and they want to join your live and I would say no right now.
Oh, you got to give me a reason why you want to join before you just hit me up to join.
Because sometimes they want to play games.
So, we were talking about
mandates.
Right. So a lot of the people that are in tune with what's happening are saying that September masks are going to come back, and that by December we're going to be in a full 2020 COVID experience again.
Mm-hmm.
So, why? Because there's juice now. You can get sauced up. You can go to your favorite pharmacy and get sauced up. So I ask anyone who's pro shutting everybody in their home, which, if you're pro that, you're probably
like you're a mirror for whatever you are expanding and elevating into. So like be a full whole human being that's healing and getting better, and then reflect that back. That's my suggestion. And then there are those that just like throw the negativity And it's like, that's not, we ain't got no time for that. Because that is intentional, to get people fighting, to get you depressed, to get you angry at each other, so that you are wasting time, to be honest.
Well, they don't. Anger is the second step. The first step is to demoralize you, make you do things that make you shameful, make you guilty, make you demoralized, and then they present something for you to get angry at, like those the patriarchy, or the
haters
the
of
right wing,
right.
or the bigots, the homophobes, and it's. Then you trade your demoralization for anger. It's just such a basic plan. It's so obvious if you are the observer of the observer. But I understand it's hard, and I understand a lot of people are busy. They work hand to mouth, they're check to check, they're always broke, you're always under stress. It's hard to become the observer of the observer. Bottom line is, they're about to do 2020 again.
Right.
2020 was an IQ test. This test, which people are busy, so people are more educated now. So 2020 was an IQ test. 2023 is going to be, how do you want to live? Are you okay with just living in your home and not leaving your home? Or do you want to be able to go outside whenever you want to go outside? And do you want to be able to, if you can't speak your truth, you can't think. Speaking your truth equals being able to think. If you don't speak truth, you will not be able to have thought. All you will have is, what's everybody doing? I'll do what everybody does. You'll lose the ability to think and come up with new ideas, to put together information from different angles, and come to a enlightenment or a new conclusion, or something that can advance you forward. Once you lose free speech, you lose freedom of thought, and then the only thing you can do is, well, what do I do? Where's the recipe for me to make money? Oh, I go here and I memorize this, then I do this over and over again for 40 years. Well, that's done. I do this over and over again for 4 years till I'm obsolete again, and then what? Then you go back and learn the new thing, and then do that for 4 years until that becomes obsolete, and then you go back. It's not being able to piece together things through thought, and just constantly doing what other recipes that people have developed for one to follow is not the answer.
Andy says, where is this? Andy, are you new here?
Where is what?
I guess, do you mean, where is this? We are in Nashville,
Tennessee.
We're in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm at Sean Gilder, who is my friend, the one in Nashville. I have his links in my bio, and his links are in his bio. And the one in Nashville. And Philip says, this all started when they took the I don't care what people think of me way too far. And Rondi says, not the Regenerate, she wants the actual body serum. That's next, Rondi.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
But the Regenerate, to bring it back to, okay, so people are depressed, people are addicted as hey. Also during 2020, a lot of people started boozing a lot more than they were. And my friend Sean here is a master at concoctions. He has Lute that I talk about all the time. It's Lute. It's in my link in bio also. And he has this powder, and I have it right here. And Rondi's got, some of you are getting it in the mail soon. This is a powder concoction. I'll let him talk about it, but it's a whole magnesium combination. It has nothing weird in it. It's just supplements that you could have gotten yourself, but it's his concoction that, and I'll let him explain it. But I'll tell you, my experience is when I've seen people that he's worked with that are off of benzodiazepine addiction and alcohol addiction with one jar of this, and I'm like, huh? And I know this guy for years now, and I'm like, if you're helping alcoholics and addicts like that, it has to have the same effect on trauma survivors. Because I'm a trauma survivor, and like the old shame thoughts and the old like self-hating thoughts are the same. Like in my book, Finding Angela Shelton, I wrote about there was an alcoholic Angela Shelton
So
You don't know this about me. I used to smoke 2 packs a day.
you told me.
I was a professional smoker.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
And that's, dopamine hits every time you do that, and it's you're in a state of unease, and now it's something that changed something that, so, and then it perpetuates the being in unease because there's withdrawal involved. As
Right.
soon as your nicotine levels drop, then you're constantly trying to fill the hole of unease or fill the hole of low-lying depression. And so many of these things influence the GABA system in the brain. So you need to get those levels up to get to a place of ease. And then once you're in a place of ease, then you don't need anything. You don't need the smoke. You don't need the coffee. But no.
That was this morning. That's exactly, you just described my morning. It was this ease. It was this calm ease, and it feels amazing and also unfamiliar.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the money it's gonna save. This might be $200, but I was walking. I was like, holy God, this saves so much money because I'm like I'm just suddenly I don't desire all
Thank
the
you so
things
much.
that cost a lot of money, and I just want to acknowledge some comments here. Biting my nails anxiety. Let's get veterans on this, and it should help with PTSD and yo gabba gabba. That's very funny. And somebody made little emojis of little things that grow in cow poo poo. I have done that on the happy side and the normal side, and I gotta tell you, this is sort of similar to that, as far as like not. As far as the clarity and cool, calm feeling without the other things that come with doing things like that.
I was about to scoff at what you said, and then I would agree. Low dose things that come out of cow doo doo would be similar to a full dose of that.
Yeah.
Now, high dose of cow doo doo things, different situation. Different situation. That there's no connection there. That's
different. That's a drink a half a bottle of
that's
loot.
yin and yang. Yes. Now
Good
half a
loot.
bottle of loot, which I do not recommend. That could be comparable to things that grow in cow.
Poo-poo. Yeah, that's his other thing. Lute. That would be along
But I don't
those lines.
recommend that. I would recommend getting cow doo doo things over half a bottle of loot.
More sunlight, Jim. You are not wrong, my friend. It's sunlight.
Yeah. The sun is not a cancer causer. The sun is good for you. We all evolved here on this planet with the sun. We would not evolve to not like the sun, the giver of life to everything.
So what is it? It is called regenerate.
Yeah. So what it is it's a concoction of different herbs, minerals, all centered around driving GABA into the brain.
Fast.
Right.
So the first about 15 minutes in, I felt this flush of like kind of fire a little bit.
Yeah, and
it's like this rush.
Unfortunately, you can't get the GABA in the brain rapidly without having that. Now, I think in the beginning, especially the first few times you do regenerate, you need to be at home. You need to be in comfortable clothes, and you need you don't want to take it and run out the door. Now, once you find your dose, and once you've done it a few times, absolutely take it and run out the door and go to your meeting. But the first few times, let's say the first 2 at least, might be wise to do the first half a dozen if you're really ill. Be near a toilet.
Happened to me, yeah.
Have some water. There's, the only way to drive it into the brain is to increase blood flow. The only way to increase blood flow is to get flushed. So you're flushed, it's kind of, in the realm of some pre-workout stuff, but sans anything that restricts blood flow, because a lot of pre-workout stuff will have your caffeines or stimulants, and then blood flow boosters. So it's kind of like a speedball. It's not. This is just the blood flow boosters. So you can have some tingliness. You can have some flushing. And it's a detox. You're detoxing because when you
niacin, yes,
yeah, there's niacin in it, yes, and
yeah. Julian says like the things Chinese have been consuming for centuries, ancient wisdom, things like that.
Mm-hmm. There's ashwagandha and astragalus in it as well. So those are Chinese herbs that I discovered through TCM stuff.
What's TCM?
Traditional Chinese medicine.
Oh.
So, yes. So, you have to have the heat, you have to have the tingles to get that GABA into the brain. Those heat and tingles cause a detox effect. Because of the vasodilation of your blood vessels, you're able to pull the toxins into your bloodstream, and then it has to leave you. So you can feel a little bit short of breath. And it might make you go poop.
Fair. First time I took it, 10 minutes in, I was like, whoa.
And then
go dookie.
And then did you go?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second time you took it?
No.
The third time you took it?
No.
Fourth time you took it?
No.
Fifth?
I'm not on my fifth.
Okay.
I'm on my fourth.
Well, so that's
right now.
Right. So
I'm on it right now.
You've cleaned up all your diet and you're very healthy now. So that makes sense. Only the first time you took it, you felt a little ill, and then you felt there was no illness.
I felt like a little bit queasy, and you just told me just keep breathing fully through my nose and deep breaths, and that went away in like 2 minutes.
Right.
I felt
so
like
that was
ooh.
So that was your body dumping toxins into your bloodstream from the additional blood flow, and then since you are living very clean, the second time you took it, even though it was still dumping toxins, it just wasn't at a level that made you feel badly.
No, my
only point is if you were, eating bonbons and Cheetos every day, maybe
bags
on the
of
second
fudge rounds.
Tons of fudge rounds. You might have on the second time also felt a little.
Right. No, I felt emotional. That's what got me. I got hit with a wave of emotion. Mm-hmm. And you also taught me like with your yoga suggestions and breathing is just to breathe through emotion and like just breathe all the way out. And I was like, all right, well, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go cry. And so I went up to his apartment. I'm staying at his VRBO, and I just cried. Mm-hmm. I just sat there and cried, y'all, and it was great. And now I feel amazing. Yeah,
and some of the other stuff in there is designed to relax. That's why there's a lot of different magnesiums. There's 4 types of magnesiums in there. And
Kay's getting it, and she might have to stay home all week. That's funny.
But now I also want to point out, and I'll ask you this question too. The first few times I'm saying be comfortable, be at home, but it's designed to go out and conquer.
Oh, I was riding bikes. I went on the bike ride.
Yeah, you were on the bike on your first dose.
30 minutes in, so I took it, and 10 minutes in, I had to dookie. Right. And then 18 minutes in, I got that red flush. I documented this too on video. I'll share it. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, all right, well, you had your rides, because that's why I'm here in Nashville riding bikes, and he has 2 rides a day for 2 hours, so I was like, I'm going. Mm-hmm. And Jerome from our TikToks came and wrote just P.S. Come on and ride with this. Ride with the one in Nashville.
Come on and take a ride with me.
Take a ride. So I was riding bikes. The bike was just amazing. And actually, as I was riding, my very first thing, I was like, this feels like I'm high without being high, and drunk without being drunk. You know when you're like really drunk and your head is kind of like wobbling on your neck, just like hey, whoa, hey. I felt that relaxation, that like hey, relaxation without the slurry words and slurry mind.
Right,
if that makes sense.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. So did you feel fully confident on the bike?
100%.
Yeah, because it doesn't affect. It doesn't like getting drunk affects your motor skills.
Right. No.
This does not affect your motor skills.
No. In fact, I was probably more aware.
Right. Yeah, so it's hard to explain, and I when you said it was like being drunk without being drunk and being high without being high, I was like,
Don't say that.
well, no, I was like, really, but then I was like, oh no, I get what you're saying. It's because, you know, when you're in the feeling of needing, when you have a hole that you're trying to fill, because you're in a state of unease. When you smoke something or when you drink something, that drops away.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're talking about is that state of unease dropped away.
Lifted, yes.
Which happens to you when you drink something or when you smoke
Right.
something. So, but there's not the effects of being, you're not high.
No.
It's not a buzz, but it feels good.
Yeah, it feels clear. But you know when it's people like, I mean, it's like have a drink to get the liquid courage to go out and dance or to go ask that girl out. I felt that. Mm-hmm. The reason that we drink and do all the addictions and stuff is to kill the negative thoughts. I mean, you pointed that out. It was so great.
Or to kill the anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like the anxiety was completely gone. And also, I mean, I don't live in anxiety. I don't want any part of that. But my stress from paperwork and my actual just managing life, because I do run 3 businesses and I do have 2 movies in the whole system of Hollywood that is incredibly stressful to me. And my stress is like at 12 with all that stuff. And it just knowing you and changing my diet and like getting my own life in order while I still have to deal with Hollywood that is incredibly stressful. I felt that the stress was at like a 1 after being at a 10 to 12 for 10 years. So yeah. High five.
Yeah, it's
like kind of like truth serum. You know what? It was kind of like truth serum. Like and I told you later on the day when I was thinking, he's like, "How you feeling?" And I was like, "I care about everything and nothing at the same time." Like I'm just like I care about everything and then I care about nothing. And honestly, and I felt, because I had a relationship, I don't know if anybody has this experience with being with a yeller and a rageaholic repeatedly. I don't know. Why are you talking about me? And I was like, God, if I was in the presence of one of those dudes losing their minds and yelling and punching walls and throwing things, right now at this moment, even now, because I took one of these about an hour ago, I would be like, huh, are you done? Are you done yet? When used to, it would raise my own heart rate. I would get anxiety just by like the process of being yelled at. You're not physically hit, but like being yelled at like can put me in a state of great unease. And I just felt like if I had that right now, I honestly would be like, yo, are you done? Do you need a sandwich or something? You need some milk and meat? Because you obviously have a problem. But it was a calm.
So I don't, just so you know, it's clear what this is originally designed to help benzo withdrawal.
Right.
So the interesting thing is,
can you tell that story, by the way? I want to put a pin in it to tell the story of how this all started.
So I had a girlfriend that I cared for very much. We were living together. You know, late 2019, there was some crazy things happening in the world. And and she started doing benzodiazepines. I didn't know what they were.
Can you tell us what they are?
Xanax, Valium, I think gabapentin.
They conveniently put GABA in the title. You love how they do that. Come here, naughty.
Yeah, you know what the name of that is. So, so she starts doing those, and it was like, it was just like our relationship became a roller coaster. It was like, I never knew exactly what I was going to get. So I started researching what benzodiazepines are and how they work and how they, you know, mimics GABA in the brain. and so found some clues on how to combat it. And it turns out that molecular, if you get down to the molecules, if you look at a benzodiazepine molecule and an alcohol molecule, they are almost identical.
That's crazy.
So a lot of people call benzos alcohol in a pill. Now, the benzos, because it's not an alcohol, I've never had one, but from the description that I've got from many, it's like, kind of like what you're saying, it's like being drunk, but without the sloppiness.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people really like it.
Oh yeah,
And
I know many people are
s-
popping those pills like crazy.
All states of unease are gone, but now I know from witnessing this, people still get slurry. People have no memory because it wipes out the memory just like alcohol does. So it's there's a lot of side effects, and it disrupts the GABA system in the brain so much that when they're not on, they are just incredibly unhappy people. Moody, like, because they're in a state of unease.
Right, and then they need to pop another pill.
They need something. They're looking for a Coke with some sugar. They're looking for, to eat something, to smoke something, to drink something. They need something because they're in a state of unease, because their neurons don't have any brakes. So their brain is moving faster than their hands and feet can move. Their brain is out of sync because there's no brakes on the transmission of data between neurons, or the electrical impulses between neurons, because it's depleted all the GABA in the brain. So turns out, like I said, the molecule. If you look at the molecule, alcohol, benzodiazepines, we need to get that on the site actually.
Oh, like a little picture. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Of alcohol and benzodiazepines. Anyway, so did some reading, put together some stuff, ordered some different supplements, whipped it up together, gave it to her, and she came back, like who she was came back.
Nice.
So I knew that I was on to something.
You're a good man.
She made the choice because, again, it's high without being high. It's drunk without being drunk.
Yeah.
Benzos and alcohol are like drunk with being drunk.
Yeah.
Right? So there's additional good feelings that you get. Well, she figured out that if she was taking Regenerate, which it had no name at that time, if she was taking Regenerate all the time and then took a Xanax, it didn't get her as buzzed up.
Oh, it's like people that you can use this for hangovers, by the way. So if you are a big boozer and you took one of this, it would remove your hangover.
It's a great. So if anyone gets anxious hangovers, I mean, like the physical hangover, it helps a little bit, and I believe that help comes from the blood flow boosters. But the alcohol-induced anxiety, which I think in modern times people call it the Sunday scaries.
Really?
Yeah. So I asked somebody else, "What are the Sunday scaries?"
It's like after you've been drinking all weekend.
After you've been drinking Friday and Saturday nights,
You're
and
like,
then Sunday you're just
you're at church and you're like
anxious mess on Sunday. They call it the Sunday scaries. So for the Sunday scaries, because that's caused by a lack of GABA, great for the moderately helpful for the physical hangover effects, very helpful for the anxiety hangover effects. It knocks that out.
nice.
And I know a lot of people, like the weekend warriors. I know a friend of mine takes Regenerate when he comes off alcohol. So like he'll go party for a week in Florida, and then he'll come back, and then he'll be on Regenerate for a few days. So it takes
to clean it up, and then so you can go back in the field again.
Well, then he won't drink for 3 weeks, and so
I could see that.
He uses it. He goes through like a bottle a year. He doesn't. He's he's not doing a ton of Regenerate all the time.
He's just using it as a Band-Aid for his...
Just to get off.
Right. Yeah. God dang.
And so that's... So one thing that benzo addicts do, because benzos are so close to alcohol, benzos deplete GABA more than alcohol. So they can very easily, benzo addicts can go into seizures and psychoses when they come off. So what a lot of benzo addicts do, if they can't find benzos, they'll drink alcohol, because alcohol is also synthetic GABA. So then they can taper themselves off and not have seizures or shakes or be in a real bad state by using alcohol.
Wow. Rondi says she did do the Mary pause Jane, but she doesn't like the side effects of the MJ. You're gonna love this, Rondi. Yeah. You're gonna love it. And I'm interested in ayahuasca, but I think I need to do more work on myself before.
Yeah. I haven't done that, but I have a lot of friends that have done it, and I've done something that's similar to ayahuasca.
And Philip says, so my first dose should be on my day off.
Yeah. Well, so the other thing that you can do too is you can ramp up. So you could do 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Oh, that's true. I did 1 teaspoon by the way.
Right. You could do 1/8 of a teaspoon, then if like, oh, that didn't do anything, you could do another 1/8 of a teaspoon. Oh, well, that nothing, and then you could keep going, or you could ramp up. I think that it's a personal preference how you want to get started. If you're gonna freak out if you get a little hot or a little itchy, definitely start slow. If you don't want, it's like 15 minutes of
like unease.
Yeah, 15 minutes of unease.
I wouldn't say it was bad at all. It was just like, oh, wait, what's happening in my body?
The first few times I did it, I didn't like it. And then after that, now I really enjoy the heat and the little bit of tingliness.
Yeah.
Although I will, sometimes it'll make me want to itch my leg or my arm. And I felt that. And I have to remember, as soon as I do that, then I'll want to do it more, so I just don't do it. But then that goes away in about 15 minutes. And again, the only way to get the GABA into the brain is to increase the blood flow, so it had to be done. It had to be done.
Julian says, I need guardrails. That's really funny. She says that he or she, my eyesight, excuse me, but I just Googled that, and facts, GABA is a problem with alcohol.
Yes.
And true. And also careful of Google, because can you tell what happened with Google just now?
Well, yes, so, Google will do you fine for stuff like that. But Google, as of August 8th, has agreed to join the WEF and the WHO and, all these NGOs to support a specific narrative. So they're no longer going to index independent journalists, and they're going to push a narrative for
poison
for the
of our brains,
for the global control system.
Yeah.
Their goal is to be the one world narrative, which they didn't say one world truth. Just pointing that out, they said one world narrative.
That's really funny.
Or one world story.
Right.
Because that's what it is a story. It's called, and that's also why it's called his story. His story. It's the story of the victors that write the history. It's not the truth. Otherwise it would just be known as the truth. So, so you have to be careful with Google. For years people have been, it's like China, everybody knows they're censored, and then the Chinese people laugh at us because they're like, they don't realize that they think they're not censored, but they are. Yeah. They know that they're censored, but they can't do anything about it. Right. No, we are 100% censored.
Right.
Have you
noticing this?
And now, as of August 8th, not that we weren't already. As of August 8th, they admit this now, and they're saying that they're going to shape a one-world narrative. But for Googling things like Google's great. For finding a restaurant near you, what's better than Google?
Unless it's things like that they're owned by people who have said things on their social media that disagree with them, because then you will get shadow banned, like your company.
Oh, I'm shadow banned?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Not on Google. I haven't noticed yet, but I mean on a certain site where you're searching for things to do in Nashville. Yours literally doesn't come up. And I was like,
I'm shadow banned on.
Wow, look at that! Isn't that interesting?
A site that I don't want to promote.
What about Firefox or DuckDuckGo? DuckDuckGo is not good, right?
So DuckDuckGo was great, and then it got bought out by someone who's known to be in the cabal. So everybody says that it's not good. I haven't used it much of late. Brave is the one that I've been using, but here's the problem. So these people are altruistic, and they build DuckDuckGo, and they build Brave, and then somebody says, I'll give you $8 million for it. And they're like, no, I'm brave and I'm bold. And then,
I'll give you $12 million.
No, I'm brave and I'm bold.
What about 45?
I'm brave and bold.
And now rich.
Well,
what about $1 billion?
Yes. So that's what happens to DuckDuckGo. Eventually, the pot gets too sweet, and the people that are trying to exert control over us have an unlimited supply of money because they're in cahoots with the banks. So eventually, they can,
do whatever.
So Brave is the one that... I
didn't know about Brave.
Brave is the one that I'm hearing is the latest and greatest, most uncensored. And then, beyond search, if you have to follow sources that will give you information that you won't be able to find because Brave doesn't index well enough or whatever.
I use Ecosia. Every time you use it, they plant a tree.
Oh, that's nice.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Ecosia.
And if you're actually worried about climate change, which is a scam, but the number one thing you could do is plant trees. Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, so and plus, even if climate change is a scam or isn't a scam, more trees are great for us. And the more things that we burn, as long as we balance it with trees, the better off we are, because the trees convert what we're burning to oxygen, and we do lose air. So if we need to keep producing more air, so we can produce that by burning things. Trees convert the burning things to the oxygen, and we're good.
I want to just scroll up. What podcasts are the way to get information? I'm converting this. Just full reveal. This is why not why I'm friends with you. I'm friends with you because we're friends. Mm-hmm. But why you see so much of me and why I come down here. I come down here once a month for a week. When my daughter goes to her dad, I roll down to Nashville because I'm using my filmmaker connections and my talents and all the stuff I know with web stuff and email marketing, and I'm giving that to him. I'm literally like, how can I help you more? I hate your website. Let me fix it. Like that kind of thing. So I came in and I was like, what can I do to alleviate any stresses that you have in your life so that you can make more of this and loot? So I'm doing for you what I wish somebody else would do for me. So I just, how can I help you help more people? Because by you helping more people and by me doing what I'm doing to help people who have been victims of trauma, we are actually we're going faster because we need to go faster, y'all. We need to elevate this healing faster.
And
agreed?
The more of this regenerate, and let's just put it this way, the more we can get people's GABA system fixed in their brain, the more potent people that we will have. And the only solution is down to the individual level. Everyone needs to sort out their shit, and then that's where we become powerful as the collective. We can say there's billions of us. There's thousands of them.
Yeah, there's
But
more
if
of
there's,
us.
but if there's 8 billion here and 7.95 of those 8 billion are impotent,
Right.
then 1,000 versus, you know, a few is doable.
Right.
So, but you know, so reducing anxiety.
This is the gold. I'm telling you, this is gold powder. And I'm just full disclosure. I mean, you can always ask me anything. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a phoenix rising from the flame. I'm really talented. I love myself. I do a lot of things. I'm vivacious and I'm the life of the party. And I you know, I'm going to be the first one to show up, last one to leave on projects. I'm a total workaholic. But see, I had for years to make myself relax. When I'm done, when we shut this down, when I turn it all off, I will have a glass of wine or a smoke or a fruity. I like those, like, I call them unicorn fart beers, where they're just the beers that you're like, that ain't a beer. That's like a smoothie. I love those to force myself to relax. And with this, I have absolutely no desire for that anymore.
Yeah, you're already in a state of ease. So
yeah,
so you don't need to take something to put you at ease.
I don't. And in fact, I look at it from a pragmatic, like, businesswoman standpoint. I'm like, look at all the money we're saving, Rondi. Let's go on that cruise. I mean, seriously, it's like saves money, it saves your brain. Because I don't really, and I'm just full disclosure. I was like, yeah. I mean, I got my stuff on. I got my mindset on. I'm like healthy. I'm active. So yeah, I'm gonna have a bottle of wine, or like 2 glasses, 3 glasses, and I like me some wine, or I might have 2 fruity frou beers, and just so I can get into the state of like, all right, I'm cool. I got my feet up, and then I'll go to sleep. But I didn't realize until I met you that that's not a forced relaxation. That's actually poisoning my brain. Even though it's like, I'm like, no, I need it. Wine is good for you, you know?
That's ridiculous.
So I appreciate you. And for also not being judgmental, too. Like, you know, because it's like, oh, you drink? Oh, you smoke? You know, I mean, I was a professional smoker, y'all. And I don't have any desire. It's like, wow. It's like, how does that make any sense? And so I'm like, I hope you are okay. Like, how do we get this out to, like, that's what I'm
so
like.
My plan is that, you know, to eventually get it into, I want feedback from these next 30.
Yep.
I'm doing 30 of this version, and I'm going to get feedback and then probably do another 100, you know, and then I feel like people will want it in a pill because people like pills over powder. But I also like the powder, so then you can really adjust your dose.
I like the powder.
But I understand people. Well, it would be very beneficial to carry this with you, because you would want to do it 15 minutes or 30 minutes before you have to speak in front of people, or if you have a meeting that you want to go to, you would want to do it before this stuff because of the mental clarity that it brings.
Yes.
And I've already been in conversation with some people about mass producing it. So yeah, that's all of y'all buying them supports the eventual mass production of it, which will get it into more hands. And you know, I'd like to get it on the shelves of, you know, Vitamin Shop and
right.
Stuff like that.
That'll happen. It's just when we also set up Mighty Networks, it's kind of like a safe Facebook where you're not going to get canceled. So I set that for him up, and so when those of you who are in there, when you get this, you can be in his private network, and it's free. And mine ain't free. His is free, and you can get in, and he will do the month that it takes for some videos, some private coaching. I've shot some videos of him where he explains it, where he gives you ideas. I did some videos of myself and also he'll come in and answer questions, and so it's like a guided tour, you know.
And you're gonna put up on the site soon custom blend where I'll take
Yes.
orders to
He could do a
make
custom blend.
custom blends.
Like, for example, he asked me, like, what did you like the most of it? What would you like more? He can do a custom. Like, actually, I kind of like more of the whatever. I said I'd like more of that, more of the brain food, really. I call this, like, brain food.
Yeah,
and I didn't mind the
problem
flesh.
is more brain food would make it more active. And I just think a lot of people that are going to be on this need rest. So I don't want to...
Right. So the Angela Shelton version
Yeah,
would get
so
you
for
climbing
you-
trees.
Yeah, well, right. So yeah, for you to make you a custom one that has more brain energy, I've already done a version of that. People have already had that version as well. I add adaptogenic mushrooms to it.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah, but then it's not. Then you don't want to do it before bed. And
Right.
And Regenerate is designed for people that are jonesing for a drink.
Right,
and
right.
People jones for a drink right before they go to bed. If you give them more mind energy, now
Right.
it's not Regenerate.
And-
now it's Partyate.
I,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yes, sir. And how do I get it? BJ said, or Big J, sorry, inappropriate. You get it on his site. It's the one in Nashville or loot.life. I put the link in my bio, so you can go to my bio. You can get the link directly to buy this, and also it's on him, the one in Nashville. You can get it, and also Rondi has a distributor in Raleigh for Loot. Which is his liquid drink. It's a little bit different than this, and independent health food stores distribution. Yep, exactly. And I want to say, I realize you made this for your benzo addict girlfriend originally and alcoholics. But
well, the formula has changed and then been enhanced even better from that. But yes, that was the precipice of it. That's where the searches began.
But
right.
the whole, you say jonesing for a drink.
Yeah.
I wasn't jonesing for a drink. I jones for a smoke.
Yeah.
Or I jones for a piece of pie.
Right.
It would be a jonesing for anything. Because the jonesing for anything is actually linked to anxiety.
Right.
Right? So like that's what this does. It's like, that's why Philip, I think you're right. You're right on about the PTSD. Because I said, this has got to help trauma survivors. And I'm telling you, Philip, it's got to help PTSD. Yeah, I love me some veterans. I'm a big America lover, and I love me some men who served. You touched my heart with that one. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I need to get this. So it's on the link. It's expensive. It's $200 because I've seen him make it, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into this.
Yeah,
so,
and some of the stuff is expensive.
He's not going to tell you this.
It's not. Yeah, some
and
of the
also
compounds in there are expensive. Like for example, the vitamin C that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super potent form of vitamin C, a sorbitol palmitate. There's a lot of thought that has gone into that ingredient, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, and also full disclosure, but I'm live with you guys. Full disclosure, I don't even think you're making a profit on this, dude.
It's not a lot.
No, I think you.
No,
you will
future,
eventually,
yes.
But this is not a profit. He wants to help people get better, and he's doing it. It's working, and I'm your biggest fan. And I just didn't know, because I didn't know what to expect going in, because I've seen people that you've helped that are alcoholics and that are not drinking anymore. But I didn't have that issue, so I'm like, maybe. But I kept saying it's got to help trauma survivors. I just don't know how it's going to do that. For me, it made me purge. I guess I was holding on to some tears deep inside, and I took this, and 30 minutes in, And another thing, it actually helped me because Julian, you mentioned earlier in your comments, and I see him, but I don't like to interrupt him. That it about the spiritual side, like it interferes. Yeah, alcohol interferes with our spiritual journey too. Mm-hmm. When I was walking this morning, and I did a video for y'all, I'll put it on TikTok in a little bit. I just wanted to make sure the link to buy it was up before I shared because I know you get excited and you're like, where do I go? I do my own spiritual life, and I have a lot of meditation life I do. That's very, very strong in my life. And I was like, oh my God, this has made me have my my connection to God and my guides get even clearer. It was like it's not the information, kind of like you was talking about the Hindus, where it's the thoughts are coming for the ethers. I personally, full disclosure, call me crazy, I don't care, because this is my life, but I get ideas and my thoughts and answers from God and my guides, and many times you pick one, it could be my grandma or my adopted dad or whoever, but it will go through kind of almost like a film, like there's like a layer, almost like a shower curtain, like a foggy shower curtain feel to it, and it just went clear.
That's great.
So it's like, huh. So I had it. So that actually elevated my meditation work too. So that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, that doesn't even get any better than that.
Another thing that's in there, because again, it's designed to come off benzos or alcohol, is a lot of liver boosters and protectants.
Interesting.
You're dumping toxins into the body. We also want to get that liver working better to handle the toxins that are getting dumped.
And I just got a thought to share this is sometimes, and I think a lot of people share this with me, that your prayer, your meditation, and your spirituality, and whatever, you pick one, whatever word you want to call, can be so powerful that you do drink. I had that. I was like, I can have such a powerful meditations or out-of-body experiences that I will then, or before I met this little guy, I would drink or smoke to kind of calm back down to this planet, and also I get overwhelmed sometimes with the idiocracy of humans, and I just get so like, wow, why are you so dumb? Like, why are you swallowing all this poison? Why are you believing the perpetrator? And I would drink or smoke to kind of calm my own sadness for other people, like my own like deep empathy and sadness for other people,
I did that a ton in 2020. I was doing a ton of Regenerate in 2020. That's when I really worked a lot on the formula with myself, because I was like, why is everybody masking? Why is everybody taking this shit? Why is everybody so dumb? How do you not see this? I mean, a few years ago, they had a $2 billion fine, the biggest fine in history, and now we're supposed to believe the stuff they're making is for us and not for profit?
Right.
No, they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. Their CEOs, if they come out with a miracle drug that will solve and cure everyone of every disease that everyone has,
they'll never give it to you.
They cannot release that because they would be fired. They would be fired immediately.
Oh my God, what were you telling me this morning out by the bikes about how they did actually create a pill that does the GABA pill?
So Big Pharma is sitting on a GABA pill that is very potent, that can be used to have fun, and they shelved it. The official word was because of ethics, because they deemed it to be too powerful, that there needed to be a negative to feeling good.
What?
Yeah. So I haven't been able to find what is in that.
Wow.
That compound that they made. I believe it was in the late 60s or early 70s.
Wow.
They made that, and they've sat on it. So they know about the GABA disruption. They just don't want to fix it. And that's because anxious squirrels spend money.
Yeah, true. And also, Rondi has a good point. They spend money, but society is not necessarily dumb, fair. It's just brainwashed by the powers that,
or stuck in loops because you're anxious and sad and depressed and demoralized.
Because you've been poisoned.
Or in shame because the propaganda you receive makes you do things that don't align with your true core beliefs. So there's a lot of things, yeah. So it was a good segue into something, and I just lost it. We were talking about
the GABA pill that they had that was like, oh, we invented this. It's great. You can't have it.
So they have no problem with the ethics of alcohol and everybody, shrinking their brains.
Because the money.
Yeah, right, and living in high anxiety. But they do have, because there wasn't enough side effects, they shelved this drug.
You gotta have. Does anybody laugh at that? Like all the side effects that they have in the commercials. Like, here, take this for your anxiety. And they speak really fast, like it can cause suicidal thoughts or death or compulsive pooping on yourself. You'll hate your neighbor. You'll lose your left arm, but you won't have any diarrhea anymore or whatever.
I remember there was one. There was one that the last line on the commercial was "may cause rectal bleeding." Well, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like playing volleyball on the commercial. and like,
gonna bleed up.
Yeah.
And then this one, the "Come Here Naughty," it's called "Come Here Naughty," y'all.
Spelled COMIRNATY. Come Here Naughty, and that's how they pronounce it too.
What?
Well, again,
just like,
but that's the thing. For them to be karmically clean, they have to tell you
somewhere.
Right. So they have to tell you so that it's your free will choice.
Except when you're told that you'll lose your job without doing it. That's not really free will.
That's your choice. You can get another job.
Right. Fair.
Right. So that's what it comes. That's how they're karmically clean.
What is that study?
Which study?
I believe you. I guess the study of the. What are you asking, Julian? But the study of the. They invented the thing that would do GABA.
If I had the study, then I would know the compounds, and then I would be very happy. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, I discovered that after I was already down the road with this, and this works. I could put this in pills, so I would imagine that what they found is along the same lines as what I found.
Right. It's
now, someone who's a chemist who is in drug development could probably find some novel things, but then when you use those novel things, you also create novel side effects. So
like rectal bleeding.
Yeah, like rectal bleeding. Or, whatever. So this is all natural. This is all natural stuff. So.
Where they won't release the compound. Where was that study that you said? Like, who had invented it? Do you remember? I think it was the GABA.
It was a Mercola article. So if you're a fan of Joseph Mercola, go to his website. I think you might have to subscribe to his website. But Dr. Joseph Mercola, that's where the article is.
He's got some good. My mom's been following that guy since like day one.
And I want to say I think the drug name was like GL1. GL1 GL-1.
Oh my God.
I have the article somewhere. I need to dig it up.
God gave us all that we need. It's true. Like, it's out in nature. It goes back to like your grandma told you to, like, hey, you got that problem, go, put that piece of bark in a bit of, tea and drink it. Of course, I'm from the country. That's like my grandmother and my great grandmother had all of those natural remedies, and it's amazing how we, started going on to pharma. And oh my gosh, y'all, I put a link up in his network. When you join his network on the one in Nashville, when you join the club, it's free. I put up a map that my friend Beaver sent me from London. It's literally a map that shows the allopathic birth of when it all started and how they have infiltrated, thwarted, killed, hidden all of the spiritual things. It's spiritual things and it's natural things. So it's nature remedies and spiritual remedies. It looks like a subway map, and you see how it did.
So, for example, they've created a bunch of statins to lower cholesterol, which destroy your body. I mean, they're linked with shortened lifespans, yada yada. Niacin, which is one of the ingredients in here, for years, forever, people have taken it for high cholesterol.
Right, but then they're going to say, "Oh no."
But the problem is, niacin is relatively affordable.
Exactly.
So no drug companies are making any money on
Right.
niacin would be generic. It would be a supplement. It's a B vitamin.
Right.
So created statins, something that does the same thing. Michael Ricks, who was over here, who, said that, so for example, if you have heartburn, if you go to the doctor, they'll give you something that shuts off your acid producer.
Right.
Which is logical. I understand that it's logical. Oh, this person has heartburn. Let's create a drug that shuts off the acid. Well, but the reason why you have heartburn is because the acid that your body is making is not acidic enough from malnutrition. So the way out is to take a supplement that increases the acid level in your stomach.
Right.
And then your body will produce less acid because it's got your body probes your stomach and is like, what's the pH? Oh, the pH is good? We don't need any more acid. pH is too low? We need more acid. And then if you don't have the nutrients to make good acid, it'll keep filling you up until you have heartburn. So it's like one method of thought is at war with the body. The body is dumb. We're at war. We're going to give this body drugs to correct its errors. Well, in my opinion, and a lot of people that I follow in their health opinions, is the body is a genius. The body knows what it's doing. If it's doing something that seems detrimental to you, it's for a great reason.
Right. Well, you said something last night because Michael Ricks was here and he had heartburn and you answered his prayers with one little thing. But you were talking about allopathic medicine and how, and I never thought about this before, but it's so true, how they'll cut you into pieces. So you have to go to ear, nose, and throat people for this. Right. You got to go to your foot person for your foot, and your knee person to your knee.
Your pelvic person, or your vagina person, or your penis person.
Right, and it's all connected. The body is all connected. Right. And they're like, oh no, we're not going to talk about that. Oh, you have to go to the foot
your
person.
Skin, you have to go to a skin doctor for your skin. It's like your skin quality relates to your liver quality.
Right.
If your liver can't keep your lymphatics clean, you're going to have bad skin.
Well, I had asthma and breathing problems since I was 3 years old, and I've been in and out of hospitals. I've been on the nebulizers. I've been on the pills even. I've been on meds and steroids and the buterols and puffers. And every single doctor, ever since I was a little kid, has said, no, it has nothing to do with what you're eating.
Nope. It does have to do with what you're eating. You know that because you've changed your diet and you've changed it.
I haven't had asthma in ages, and it's from loot. I used to, I started taking loot and changing my diet, obviously.
And they would tell you there's studies that prove, and it's like, well,
there's nothing to do.
You tell me the results you want, I'll set up the study.
Right.
It's that simple.
I noticed that during COVID when you saw these articles about the hydroxychloroquine that's 33 cents.
Yeah.
And I took that when I went on safari in Kenya. I took it for malaria, and it's 33 cents. It gives you funky dreams, and that's it. Otherwise, it's a great pill. It's been around since the 50s. And all of a sudden, it is this demonic, horrible, horrible pill. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. If you just read these articles and see who wrote the article, and see who paid them to do it, and see the intention behind it, it's because it's 33 cents. That's why.
Well, and the one that they really shit on was ivermectin, and that's because it actually works. So if there's something that works, then they can't get an emergency use authorization. So we would have never been able to use the experimental gene therapies if they admitted that ivermectin worked.
The come here naughty.
And here's the thing, ivermectin does work for it.
Right. How do we get it?
Can
we even talk about that?
Tennessee passed a law stating that you don't need a prescription for it, that you can buy it from any pharmacy. So in Tennessee, you can go, well, the big corporation ones, they have corporate policies where they don't sell it because they're part of a machine. But if you go to like an independent compound pharmacy, they are allowed to sell it to you.
Do you need a script or no?
No. They passed a law that you don't need a script for ivermectin.
Interesting.
I have some. I can. It's near the airport here. Gibbs Pharmacy.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arne.
And
it's terrifying. It really is terrifying. And yes, back to basics.
And now ivermectin too, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that you want to take it as a prophylactic. Also, ivermectin, it does a lot of things.
What's a prophylactic?
Prophylactic for getting ill, meaning if you take it on a schedule, you won't get it.
Oh, I see.
It's anti-parasite.
Oh.
So it's very prescribed in Africa. It's very prescribed in areas where people get parasites routinely. But I always have questioned where did Americans get the idea? It's like, well, in America we don't have parasites.
Because they don't fly on planes.
Everywhere else there's parasites, but in America, no parasites.
Everybody has parasites in their butt.
Yeah, everybody has parasites. So, if they get out of balance because you're under stress, so your immune system gets lowered, the parasites get to thrive.
I'm a puke.
So, ivermectin as a prophylactic keeps the parasites down, the worms, the everything.
I have that thing where you just like.
I know it's gross to think, but that's
Oh God.
But the other thing is, the more life that we hold, the more life that we have. So the more things that can be alive inside of you, in harmony, the more energy you'll have, and the better you'll feel. But the key is in harmony.
Another thing that you said this morning for the ride, you were talking to the riders, and you started talking about we were talking about raw milk, and you started talking about the light. And can you please talk about that? That is so.
Right.
So I'm like, what?
So most living things, not all, but a lot of it, let's just say many living things, emit light. Most of them in frequencies that we can't see. We see 1% of the light energy. So what we're looking at each other right now, what we see in this room, we're missing 99% of the light energy.
So we're just like, we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You mean like our auras and stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean, there could be microwaves from a satellite above us.
Oh, got you.
That we can't see.
Okay.
There's rays coming off the sun that we can't see. It's in frequencies that we can't see. Like bats see different frequencies. Cats see different frequencies. Everybody knows that dogs hear different frequencies. Mm-hmm. Dogs can hear something and you can't hear it because it's way above our ability to hear. So, there could be entities in this room that we can't see.
So cool.
Because we can't see those frequencies of light. Anyway, so we emit light, believe it or not.
That's why animals love me so much?
The only animals that lived through the last cataclysm are able to generate their own light. Or some animal that they evolved from was able to generate their own light. So we can generate our own light. So it is actually true. We are light. We are actually light energy.
That's pretty
The light energy that we emit is below the frequencies that we can see. It's like below ultraviolet. It's on the edge of ultraviolet. Anyway, so microbes in your gut also emit light. So it's like your
gut light.
So your gut microbiome is also your gut lights. So you're illuminating the inside of your gut with light.
Listen, can we please make an animation about all this stuff? I just want to put that on the board.
About cartoons and animation. You can say things in a cartoon that you can't say.
Exactly. You got like a neon sign party going on down there. Okay, so they light up.
So the point is the more life that you can have inside of you that lives in harmony with your organism, the more light energy you have. And the light energy you have, the healthier you should be. And that's kind of how the gut microbiome works, is by shining light within you.
So bring it back to milk.
Right, so what I was saying is, this woman was saying she doesn't like milk. I said, I agree, milk tastes terrible, other than raw milk, fresh from the udder. I really like it a week out of the udder, up to 2 weeks at the most. I still think that 3-week-old tastes way better than store. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
even 3 or 4 week olds fresh out of the udder would taste better than store bought milk. It's very sweet. It contains all of the microbes to help you digest that milk. I mean, it's designed to be an ultimate source of nourishment.
Yeah, it's
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 designed to be
fascinating.
the only thing that
Yeah.
animal that's hundreds of pounds that can become thousands of pounds.
Your advice on drinking the raw milk has I mean, that's what I eat now. I live on raw milk and meat, and I can't stand store bought milk. If I drink a little bit of store bought milk, I'm probably gonna have an asthma attack. I'm definitely gonna be going
Yeah.
in my throat and like be all phlegmy, and like my brain doesn't work well.
You're
And
drinking something rancid, so
yeah, the way you describe what they do is like they're basically killing all the good stuff.
and they don't even filter out. They kill the microbes and then they leave them in there.
So you're drinking dead microbes?
Yeah.
I'm just puking all over myself. And what is crazy is here I am holding a jug, because I drink it right out of the jug, because it's like, it's mine, I'm going to drink it out of the jug. And I'm standing there, holding my jug in front of people that I know that do not believe these things. And I'm like getting this lecture from this friend of mine who doesn't know anything about health at all, and saying like, oh my God, you're drinking raw milk? That's dangerous. No, and I just laugh. And I was like, where are you getting your information? She's like, I would never do that. That's dangerous. It's got fungus in it and stuff, and it's horrible. And they shut down dairy farms because they poison people. I was like, oh, okay. How's your health doing?
I'm sure that a dairy farm has been shut down for having sick cows.
Right.
You know, but
Oh my God.
but I also assure you that milk coming out of those poison cows did not taste right. Let's use our sniffers, our tasters. You can tell when you have that milk from my source.
Right.
And I don't know how yours.
God, yours is the best, because I went and met his people, and I got the milk from them, and I met the owner, and he was telling me that they chose Guernsey cows because of how it tastes.
Right.
And it literally, I mean, it tastes like melted vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when ice cream melts and you just drink it out of the it's like,
when you said that gave me the idea, because it does an almost like cereal milk.
Yeah.
I think if you added like some natural vanilla, then it would, because it's very sweet. And I said this to them. I said, I cannot touch ice cream anymore, because ice cream, although it's sweet because they add sugar, it has that gross milk taste that I don't like.
Well, now that in my mind it's dead microbes in there.
Yeah,
God, I can't wait to tell my kid that.
That's what it is. It's the stuff that's supposed to help you digest, that's alive, living in raw milk, is killed by the pasteurization process.
But because that's supposed to be healthy, that's gonna help all y'all. I'm like, oh my God, this is also the same person who's had every single jab, who takes so many pills for her. She also has asthma, and she will not listen to anything. I told her about Loot for her asthma. It's like she just, you know, all right. She doesn't want to hear anything that's outside of the box. The boxed food is dangerous. You are right, Julian.
If you don't believe in your allopathic doctor, then you have to believe in yourself, and these people don't believe in themselves.
That's pretty much ding, 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 totally. That's not pretty much, that's fully true.
Right.
Because people need to be told, some people need to be told what to do, because they can't think for themselves, because many of them come from trauma that they've never dealt with.
Well, and also thinking is metabolically expensive. It is. It takes a lot of energy to think. So if your mitochondria and your health is so poor, you're not getting sunlight, you're not eating right.
Right.
You're not going to think.
That is also, I was thinking, during all of the total manipulation of our media that's happening, and the people that do take on the signs and run with it and run with the headline and, like, you know, go after, oh my God, that's a red person or that's a blue person or what. Both sides do it, like both sides that are part of the game that's being played on us. and they'll run with it, and they'll get so angry and adamant about whatever. Like, it's like Alphabet City out there. And if you just take one of them, like, who's so adamant and like, oh my God, pick one, whatever they're mad at the moment, and you just dissect of, say, like, what are you eating? What poisons are you eating from the grocery store? And what meds are you on? And you're going to find that the ones that are the adamant ones that are spinning in their crisis are full of poisons and toxins. So it's like, I can't even talk to you until you get clean and like stop, like get off of all the addictions, and then get off the boxed foods, and get off of the poison, and then get off of all your ginormous amount of meds that you're on, which are systematically done to keep you poisoned. Then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, they have a fiduciary responsibility to not make anything that doesn't help their bottom line. And, ivermectin, in some things, that they make, some things that come
Right.
through allopathy are valid. But ivermectin, the dude that made it knew it was so powerful, he wanted to give it out for free. I forget the exact story, but he made huge efforts and successful efforts to keep ivermectin cheap. So
Amazing. And then Julian says, while yelling at us to wear sunscreen.
right.
And meanwhile, the sun is our most valuable thing. Yeah,
And
true.
everybody that's tuned in, get ready, because between September and December, they're gonna try to mask us up and stuff us in our homes again. I'm believing that this time we got this new anthem out by Oliver Anthony.
I love that song.
And this time
Oh wait, it's such a right-wing song.
Yeah, the guy that makes $12 an hour, that lives in a trailer with a tarp for a roof because it leaked, he's right-wing. Sure. I mean, if anything, it's so dumb. But what was I saying?
We have this anthem. What you're saying, like, there's positivity of people elevating out of this.
Oh, right. What I was saying is, between September and December, they're going to try to force us all to wear mouth diapers again. They're going to try to lock us in our homes again. They're going to try to instill fear that there's a new variant. And I mean, I've talked to people that I never thought would have a crack of something's not right, and they're telling me something's not right.
Right, finally. People are like, wait, it's a little
what
weird.
this September-December thing is a test. The first one was an IQ test. Now this is a test to see how many people will comply. And if it's single digits, if nobody complies, then they will fizzle it out, meaning they'll start pushing it through all their media, through all of their propaganda channels, and then if it doesn't catch on, you'll see that they'll try to push it more. They'll really put all the screws down, and then if it doesn't catch on, then they'll walk back. So I think it's really important to mass not comply, especially in the beginning. Don't be like, well, whatever, it doesn't hurt me to wear a mask. Well, if a high percentage of people put those masks on, then the next step is they're going to lock us down again. Because if they're like, well, 40% of the people are wearing masks, let's lock them up.
Oh my God.
So it's going to be September that they're going to try to mouth diaper us, and then December will be the lockdown. And also,
oh God.
it's been, they've admitted to having bioweapons labs now.
Well,
they're all over the Ukraine.
Duh.
There's ones here, so fine, it's not, whatever's going to be released is not a bioweapon, fine, okay, but why do we have bioweapon labs?
For war?
No, well, I mean,
To make weapons?
right, well, no, I'm just saying, you can say that it's not a bioweapon.
Oh, right, but then why
do we have bioweapon labs?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
And then what, so, okay, well, fine, okay, it's a virus, not a bioweapon. Well, where's the bioweapons? What are they doing there? And the first one, in Wuhan,
Oh my God.
there's a bioweapons lab there.
Oh, you mean those 5 days that there was a blackout for 5 days in October 2019? that it didn't escape. Like, come on, I write movies, I write screenplays, I write books. That's like the perfect. During that 5 days when the cameras conveniently were shut down. Come on.
Like what happened with Jeff when the cameras just weren't working.
Oh yeah, it's weird. The cameras weren't working. Ooh. It's Julian says it's absolute that we are living in an oligarchy. I've never heard that word.
Oligarchy.
What's an oligarchy?
Oligarch is.
What's an oligarchy?
You know, it's.
Is that like patriarchy with orgs?
Well, no, it's probably what people really want to say when they're saying patriarchy, because we can remove gender out of this. It's a group of people that are very wealthy. They're all in cahoots.
Oh well,
to make more money.
That's
to
true.
Continue to be the haves.
That's true.
And they don't care how many have-nots they make, as long as they are still the haves.
Yeah, so that's the word we need to be using instead of patriarchy. And this whole canceling of women and erasing of women and devaluing men, it's enough already. Enough. I'm done.
Right, and it was
I'm
like
I'm not even having
Mike
that
about the race stuff. It's like just shut up. And same thing with the we're not birds. You can take a look at my undercarriage and know exactly what I am. You can take a look at your undercarriage and know exactly what you are.
Promise.
I mean, it's not. We're not birds. It's not like you have to measure how far the hole is away from the taint. You know,
now they finally admit they're aliens. Done. Of course, they're not alone. If we knew that the CIA and FBI and all the other government, U.S. what they've done, well, yeah, true. Well, it's obvious that the mob has taken over our government. Oh well.
Well, no, I think the mob was part of it. I mean.
Is the oligarchy. I love that word, oligarchy. So
oligarchy.
True. Oligarchy, like gargle.
Oligarchy. So, yeah, the mob and the 3-letter agencies have been in cahoots back into the 50s.
Right.
So, you know, so that's part of the power structure. I mean, really when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of it, it's like, okay, here it's people presenting money-making opportunities to people that are in power, and they keep snapping it up. That's why I've been saying now, we need to pay all of them $1 million a piece. Money isn't real, it's monopoly money. We pay them all $1 million a piece, and then we hang chest cams on them. All politicians.
That would be amazing.
And then if they do anything, if there's any suspicion, if there's anything, and then it's, well, let's pull the tape. Pull it from his chest cam. You know?
I wonder if that would even fly. That's funny.
Well, nobody would want it because it's such a swamp, grimy right now.
Right.
But then if you were like, well, okay, you can make $150,000 a year and, you know, take bribes from everybody. Or you can make $1 million a year and wear a chest cam.
You're like a cop with a chest cam on you.
Right.
Right. Interesting. That's a good idea.
Right. And then well, plus if you don't agree, then the other people with the chest cam, when you're going to talk to them, you have to. It would make
like
truth,
expose everything.
Well, no, or it would make everybody switch to truth immediately. Because even if you were grimy and you decided to not take the mill and stick with the $150,000, well, if 40% or let's say 50% of the people take the chest cams. Right,
when you're in their office, you're on camera.
Right.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then also when you're walking around, and then they would be super paranoid.
Right.
They would be like, which one's got a chest cam, you know?
And now it's like, which one's got a deal?
Or what if you could put a suit on and cover the chest cam, but then the audio's still hot? So then it's like, well, what if this person has the audio on them?
You got some good ideas.
I mean, police have to wear chest cams.
Yeah, now.
I think, you know.
That's not such a bad idea. The politician parent. I was looking for an alliteration. But I do want to say something a little, like if you really do dissect all of this, it's not a conspiracy theory at all. It's a system analysis. And the reason, I very rarely block people because I actually don't mind trolls. I kind of like to bring them out and have a discussion. But I did erase somebody who was making fun of like the Sound of Freedom, because y'all, I know those stories. I've been doing it for 20 years. Like if that is true, if you dissect all of this into a system analysis of the dirty companies and that run everything, what are there, like 4 of them, 4 of them, Blackguard and all that, Vanguard and all that, and then the 13 families that are above that, you are going to run into human trafficking. I mean, you're gonna do it, and it's like that's the dirty secret. The dirty secret is there's the money, is their yeah, and it's
J.P. Morgan Chase conveniently deleted like 5 million emails between Jeff and them.
Yeah.
Because they know that if they were to release, they'd rather take the penalty for whatever it would be. What is that? That's I don't know what the penalty is if you have a subpoena and you just it's certainly less than discovering all of their crimes against humanity.
Right.
So they deleted all the emails.
It's just like,
and the ones that they do have are not good. They're the ones that have been discovered.
Kind of like our what we're doing is getting better, getting healthier, staying healthy, getting healthy in our own lives, healing all our own stuff, doing the revolution in your own heart to then expand it out everywhere in your community. Okay, you got that, right? You're like working on your little island. You're a warrior. I'm a warrior on my island. We're leveling up. Eventually, like say, P.S. I do have an animation that I have written for this very thing to show. Okay, say you've got the human trafficking, right? You've got all the little buses and trucks they use. It's gonna take the men that are stopping those trucks. It's gonna not the government because they're part of it, not the FBI because they're part of it, not the cops. Like if you go to Juarez, like on the border of El Paso, where there's a huge trafficking, and also, P.S. I don't know if you knew this, but in the human T word, after they're done with these people, after they're done with them, they take their organs. Okay, so on this hubs where there's a lot of traffic, there are also these big huge hangars with big huge freezers with big huge, like they're moving parts of humans that are coming from the children who have been abducted and also have grown up in it and also were birthed in it, and also the people that were used up, they're no longer usable, so they use their organs. So it's like they're in it, and that gives organs to the rich people. And by the way, my daughter, who's brilliant, she's like, Mommy, you should write a horror movie that when the people get the organ, like the dirty people who've gotten the organ, that they also get all of the feelings and memories of what that happened to that person.
Well, there's been people that have heart transplants and some organ transplants
that
where they've received some interesting things and been able to trace it back based on.
But I believe, this is my just theory, I'm just throwing it out because we're having an open conversation here. It's gonna take, much like it's happening around the country with these people that are stealing stuff and running in, and then these men are like tackling the guys and taking care of business. Picture that there's lines of trucks and they're filled with kids. It's gonna take men and women, but I mean men that are the good men that stop that truck on the streets and bust it open and save the kids. It's not gonna be the FBI.
This is why there's a war against masculinity.
Exactly.
And why there's a war against testosterone.
That is why
they want soy and everything, because they don't want powerful men.
When
you're trying to take over a land or a country, the first thing you do is weaken the men. They're being weakened with porn, estrogens, hidden estrogens in food.
Yep.
And it's all part of the plan. This land is trying to be taken over.
And the whole thing of this attack on God, take God out of the schools, take God, like, God now has been like, oh, brother, roll your eyes. That's been systematically put into the global brain, I believe, so that they can take the "in God we trust" off the first line. And once they do that, then they take your whole country. It's theories I have. But I definitely see that it's men who've taken. Look at what Tim, what's his name, did. Who the movie Sound of Freedom is about. You know, it's like that's a man right there, and we need more of those. We need to support more of those. Like I'm super pro men, and I'm so tired of the attack on them from people who are just regurgitating the headlines that are systematically put into the global brain to make you regurgitate it, to make you like a little puppet. And that's it's so that is also why when I saw the person on here, it was like, you know, sound of diarrhea, you mean? Because that, you know, no, that's all not true. I'm listen, I'm not having that conversation.
So anything else we want to cover on this? Because I'm getting sleepy.
He's getting so sleepy. We are all we're energy only, kind of like they say in prison that when child abusers go to prison, they are yeah. Well, that is true. I did a prison movie. You'll see it. One of them gets got in my movie. You see the hammer. That actually happens in the hammer. Yeah, it's so. We talked about regenerate, and we talked about prepare for September, which is what the goal was.
And, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we covered the two things, and
and also
prepare for.
What do we do to prepare for September? Hold hands?
Prepare your brain for when they say mask up, don't do it, because they're going to count how many people are masked up. And as long as it's, 40% or more, I feel like then they'll move forward with the lockdown.
God.
And like, I mean, and then because they're gonna bankrupt everybody because everybody's already maxed out on debt, then that's when they'll introduce their own currency, and that's after that will be communist. You can make an argument we already are, but
if you just look at Wikipedia, the Communist Party agenda, what is it? They're 43 or 45 or something lists. They've done every single thing.
Yeah.
Right in front of our face. Mm-hmm. And then when you say, "Hey, isn't this a little weird? Isn't this like communist agenda?" And they're like, "No, that's paranoid." And I love my friends who are my little millennial friends who are like, "I'm totally socialist. I like socialism because I have social media and I'm social."
Yeah.
And you're like, why? Oh God.
So the point is, I just think, just be ready to not comply.
So what happens if none of this happens? Well, it is. You mean the December, okay, so what if this happens? That'd be awesome.
Well, no, that'd be excellent.
That'd be great.
And let's just say that from now to September, maybe if all social media erupts with just, so they've put out to the TSA and to a couple other agencies that they're going to be doing this to get ready, so they can get ready for September. So it's already been leaked out. So if everybody is totally complaining and everyone's like, we are not going to comply, they might walk it back and not do it. So it's
like the swine flu vaccine or something.
Well, they took that back because 12 people died.
Right.
In the 70s, it only took 12 people to die. Now it's, I don't know how many died.
Yeah. So U.S. dollar is going to be in trouble, but yeah, I know. So if none of this happens, high vibration, Franco, that'd be awesome. But look at what is happening. It was like seriously.
Just be ready to not comply with the mask. I mean, it's stupid. What is the mouth diaper gonna do?
I know I'm supposed to be in London on November 5th for my show, y'all. What if they're like, you can't fly?
And that's what they're banking on, that because you have to be there, that you'll just wear the mask.
Or get the jabber jab.
I mean...
Hey, I'll do it in my living room with 3 cameras.
Yeah, there you
go. Alright, I love all y'all. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having this conversation. And also for actually having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like nowadays, it's like, I don't even want to say that because I like to talk about what we are doing instead of what we're not doing, So it's like we're having conversations in the face of fear. And I love you.
The only thing you have to fear is fear itself.
And I was playing with that song, What's Love Got, and switching around like, what's truth got to do with it? Who needs a heart when your heart has been poisoned? Or when your mind has been poisoned? I was playing around with that as I was walking today. I may be confused and acting, I might do that. Anyway, it was really awesome to hear him sing last night. If anybody, whoever caught that, he's great. He's a great singer. Jesus will surprise you sometimes. He'll start singing and you're like, wow. I'm thankful for meeting you too on TikTok. I love it. Hey, Julian, thank you. Same. This is why I love TikTok.
What's love got to do?
How about you leave us?
When my heart can be broken.
How about you leave us?
That's why just go to a 12-step love addict program to teach you not to ever love anything. It'll be fine. Just live in low-level depression and
how about
don't ever love again.
How about leave us with a little bit of the song you love now? Come on,
what's
do it.
the lyric?
It's so good. You're so good at it.
What's the lyric? Hold on, let me Google it.
I've been working a job. I don't know. I just know.
I think I did it.
Hey,
I guess
give
I
us the
don't.
song. Yeah. Come on, give us the song.
You would think it would be open here, but I guess not.
Sing us the song, would you?
I'm Googling it. What's the, I mean, it's like maybe if I heard the music.
The north of Richmond.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Pause. I'll entertain you with the song. Singing is not my forte.
Okay. It's I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours with bullshit pay, so I can sit down here and drink my life away. Now I lost it.
So loud. Back your mic off just a little bit.
Oh, am I clipping?
You're fine. You're perfect.
There's no, the lyrics are gone now from the screen. Now I'm looking, here we go. So I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in a new world.
So good.
With an old soul. These rich men north of Richmond. And then this and stuff. Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think. Want to know what you do. And they don't think you know. But I know that you do. Cause your dollar ain't shit. And it's taxed to no end. Cause a rich man north of Richmond. I'm out of gas.
He's out of gas.
I'm
so good
I'm
though.
tired.
He tired. He did a long bike ride.
Yeah.
2 times. Anyway, that was awesome.
Signing off.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us today. I'm gonna be on the road north.
On the road.
On the road again, going places that I've already been. On the road again. I love you. Look at my shirt.